Welcome to Is It Fast? I just rode in on a BMW Z3. That's a thing that happens. Welcome to Is It Fast? And welcome to the very first in a weekly show where we talk about cars, motorsport, and everything in between. So, without further ado, let's start by talking about what's in the news. We start the motorsport news this week with the British Touring Car Championship, and there is a lot to cover, so make sure you are sat and listening carefully. The defending champion Colin Turkington goes into the final 3 rounds at Brands Hatch in the lead with 309 points. Behind him is Ash Sutton on just 300 points, and he could easily snatch the title for the first time since 2017. Then in third place you've got Dan Camish, also on some points, who last year, if you remember, agonisingly lost the championship lead right on the last few corners. Then, bringing up the rest of the pack, you've got Tom Ingram in his Ginsters Toyota Gazoo Racing Corolla, and then you've got Rory Butcher, who is in there in the mix mathematically in his Motorbase Ford Focus ST. It is going to be an absolute humdinger. Not only is the racing going to be exciting, but we are going to be saying goodbye to some firm favourites in terms of cars this year. It's been announced that this is going to be the last drive for the Passat CC, run by Team Hard. That's won some races and is one of the prettiest cars on the grid. We also learned that we're going to be saying goodbye to the Mercedes A-Class. We don't yet know what the replacement for this is going to be, but it's been one of the most hard-working cars on the grid, completing 2 seasons without even breaking down, which is quite an achievement. We also heard that the Audi A3 is going to be said goodbye to as well. Trade Price Cars announced that they are going to be jumping in with Accelerate, which means there are going to be 4 Hyundai i30N Sportbacks on the grid in 2021. The end of the touring car season will see a huge crescendo, and remember that we have interviewed quite a few of the drivers this year, so make sure that you go back before Sunday's races and watch what some of the drivers had to say throughout this season. Sticking with the touring car theme, but this time we're adding a little bit of Germanic goodness to it. That's right, we're talking about the DTM. Audi cleaned up again this year in the DTM series, winning pretty much everything there was to win, and all their drivers pretty much finishing in the top 8. But it has been confirmed that the DTM series will be coming back for 2021, but not in the format that we know it. They're dropping their touring car roots, and they are becoming a GT3 series, and with that, it means that they are going to be having just privateer teams entered. Audi and BMW have both said that they will support the privateer teams. We have no idea what that looks like, but hopefully the cars and the competition will be just as cool as it has been in the last 2 or 3 years. It was announced this week that in 2021 we will see the return of the W Series. The W Series is the lady-only race series where they zoom around in Formula 3 cars, and the racing is super tight and super competitive. It was announced that there will be 8 races supporting the F1 calendar into 2021. We're not entirely sure which races these will be yet, but one thing is for sure, the racing is going to be exemplary. Hello? Yep. Yep. I will tell them. I will tell them. Yep, absolutely. That is history on the phone. And it's calling for Lewis Hamilton, because Lewis Hamilton will be racing at the Turkish Grand Prix, and as long as he beats Bottas, or Bottas doesn't beat him by more than 7 points, he is going to be a 7-time world champion. He will be matching the great Michael Schumacher's record, and that is something that I never thought I would ever say in my entire lifetime. Like him or loathe him, Lewis Hamilton is an absolute legend in the world of motorsport. To be able to put in performance after performance after performance, year after year after year, is an absolute Herculean task that most people, if not everybody bar him, could have done. Well done, Mr. Lewis Hamilton. I'm sure you will take it home this weekend. And that concludes the motorsport news for this week. The new Toyota Gazoo Racing Yaris was announced this week. Well, it wasn't really announced, it was more just taken out of embargo. It is an amazing little thing. It is a rally homologation special. So basically what they've done is they built a rally car to win races in the WRC and then made it into a road-going legal car, which is just mental. It's the first time that I've been excited about a homologation special since the 90s, since they were cool, since Imprezas and Evos were smashing up and down our streets and then smashing up and down the routes in Corsica and Sardinia. So this is a big deal. The little Yaris packs a real punch. It's got a 1.6 3-cylinder engine. It is, of course, turbocharged, and it makes about 257 brake horsepower. That means that it will get to 0 to 60 in under 5.5 seconds. Yeah, 5.5 seconds in this little tiny Toyota. It's driven through all four wheels because it's a rally car, guys. It's a rally car. It's meant to do rally things. So all of this can be yours for less than £35,000. It is a car that I think we should all be getting very excited about. News from Land Rover now, and the Discovery is getting itself a bit of a facelift. And let's be honest, if there's one car on this planet that needs something done about its looks and its features, it is that ugly mother. The new Discovery is going to get itself only minor changes, in fairness. The LED lights at the front are seeing a little bit of a subtle change, which gives it a bit of a sleeker look. As you go onto the bonnet, the car is going to benefit from Jaguar Land Rover's new powertrains and a hybrid option in there, much like the rest of the range. As you head into the cockpit, it's going to get itself the brand new infotainment system, brand new for it, not for Jaguar Land Rover, and they've kind of changed the center console a little bit and given it this funny little lever to pick your gears. And then as you head to the back, the Discovery sign at the back is glossed over and looks a little bit more like it, but the number plate is still kind of just off to the side a little bit, which, I don't know, not really for me. Sticking with SUV news, but this time talking about BMW, this week they announced their #Nextgen range, which starts with the BMW iX. The iX is an all-electric SUV designed to rival things like the Audi e-tron and possibly even the Tesla X. How much is it going to cost and how is it going to perform? Well, we don't really know yet, but what we do know is think of a BMW X5 and you've pretty much got an electric version of that in the iX, but time will tell. However, I have got a bigger question. BMW's looks in the last kind of 2 or 3 years with the new M3 and with the new M4 and actually starting with the 7 Series and the X7, well, it's kind of hard to ignore the way that the grille looks and just kind of how the whole thing is. So my question to you is this. Do you prefer the styling of the new BMW range, or do you think that they're losing what made them who they are? And are they losing the actual DNA of what it is to be a BMW? Tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching Is It Fast? And congratulations, you have just watched the first in our new weekly show. Remember to follow us on your social media platform of choice to make sure that you catch every single last bit of news from the world of cars, motorsport, and pretty much everything in between. Thank you very much, stay safe, and I will see you next week.